On October 1st, 2019, the free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA for short, opened up, and by the time this video is released, it would have been available for exactly 1 month. And today, I'm going to tell you guys about the truth of financial aid. If you are a graduating senior in the state of Georgia, congratulations, because a chunk of this video is relevant to you. And if you are a graduating senior at Tri-Cities High School, well, you are my primary audience. But before I begin, I'm sure you guys are wondering who I am, so here we go. My name is Sage Woods. I am a second-year financial planning major at the University of Georgia, and I graduated Tri-Cities High School in 2018 as the valedictorian. And this video is actually a special request from Ms. Hollins, your AVID teacher. She really cares about you guys, and she really wants you to succeed. And I really hope you guys are paying attention in her class, because everything she tells you is important. You know, I graduated high school a year and a half ago, and I still come to her for advice. She's a UGA alumna herself, so if you have any questions about UGA and if you're interested in attending there, you know, she's the best person to ask about that, along with several other teachers around Tri-Cities High School that went there. And you can also ask me, because I'll leave my contact information in the description box down below. But on to the video itself. I'm just rambling around. I did say that the free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA for short, is available right now. And for those of you who don't know what that is the form that you fill out to determine your financial aid eligibility. It is very important that you fill this form out, not only this year, but every single academic school year that you're in college, in order to receive financial aid to help pay for school. And this is also the application you fill out, Georgia students specifically. This is the application that you fill out to receive the HOPE and the Zell scholarships. If you don't know what those are, here's a brief rundown. Okay, so the HOPE scholarship is a scholarship that basically the only eligibility requirement that you need is to have a 3.0 GPA in high school, as calculated by the Georgia Student Finance Commission. It pays for 80% of your college tuition, and it's capped at 127 credit hours. So most institutions in the state of Georgia, you need 120 credit hours to graduate. But with HOPE, it's capped at 127. So if you do decide to change your major, please be careful, because it can be costly. And another thing, while you're in college, you need to maintain a 3.0 GPA to keep HOPE. And in most cases, that may not be easy, because college is hard. So it is very important that when you do go to college, your number one priority is your education and not to party. College students waste a lot of time, and they are easily distracted. I know this. I am speaking from experience. Your number one priority in school is to get your education, and you should spend more time studying than any other activity. That's not a popular opinion that people have. I know this. You know, C's do get degrees, but A's really do pay, and let's go get this bread, everyone. All right, moving on to the Zell Miller Scholarship. This is the scholarship that's harder to get. You need a 3.7 GPA in high school in order to be eligible for it. Not only that, you need at least a 1200 composite score on the SAT, or a 26 composite score on the ACT minimum, or you can graduate high school as the valedictorian or salutatorian. Just a fun fact, in the state of Georgia, if you are number 1 or number 2 in your graduating class, you can apply to the University of Georgia and the Georgia Institute of Technology and automatically get accepted. And you know what? I highly encourage anyone in inner city, predominantly black high schools, not just Tri-Cities, to go to these institutions. I'm not being biased when I say this. These are great schools, and you will benefit from going to these schools, you know, stepping outside your comfort zone and, you know, pushing yourself, you know, go above and beyond once you are there. And, you know, it does seem like I am going off into tangents, and that's fine. You know, I do care about you guys, and this isn't information that, you know, people know, you know, and luckily you have people like me, people like Ms. Hollins, to tell you these things, you know. We really really do care about you. But back to the video. Like I said, the Zell scholarship, it's harder to get, but the rewards are generous. It pays for 100% of your college tuition. That's right, 100%. But just like Hope, it doesn't cover, you know, student fees, mandatory fees, books, and all that good stuff that it really should cover, in my opinion. But you know, that's a video for a different day. You need a 3.3 GPA to maintain Zell in college, and like I said, that's not easy at all. College is very, very tough. But if you do lose Zell, it is converted back to Hope, if I'm not mistaken. Since I'm speaking to seniors at Tri-Cities High School mostly, you're probably either taking an econ class right now, or you've already enrolled and completed an econ course. So you've heard of the term opportunity cost. Okay, so consider the opportunity cost of losing Hope or Zell in college. In fact, since some of you guys are going to college, most of you are going to college, consider the opportunity cost of choosing to go to college instead of being in the workforce. And if you decide to go to the workforce straight out of high school, consider the opportunity cost of what you were, you know, foregoing by choosing to, you know, be in the workforce instead of those higher wages that you could have with a college degree. Every decision you make is an economic decision, and you deciding whether or not to listen to me in this video is entirely an economic decision. On average, you can expect to earn $1 million more in your lifetime with a college degree as opposed to a high school diploma. However, here is the thing.
A degree at any cost, studying anything from anywhere, and you'll be okay? Is that what you would tell them? It's what some people seem to have heard. Worse than that, you and I are financing that garbage.
Let's talk about student loan debt. It may not be a popular opinion, but isn't it crazy how you can go $100,000 in student loan debt at 17 or 18 years old, but in order to, you know, have a drink of alcohol legally, you have to be 21 years old. You know, I'm in no way encouraging underage drinking at all. You know, that is an activity people decide to do under the age of 21. For each their own. You know, this video is, you know, intended for merely educational purposes, and you know, I'm just merely stating my opinion and giving factual information. I just believe that the choices that you make right now drastically affect your future. So, you know, they tell us to drink responsibly if you do decide to drink responsibly. Well, I believe that you should borrow responsibly and only take out what you need. Some of you may not need student loans, and bless your hearts if you don't, but if you do need help paying for school with student loans, start with federal loans first. To get federal loans, you fill out the free application for federal student aid, also known as FAFSA. Every year, Congress sets the interest rates for these undergraduate loans. Okay, so undergraduate loans come in two types. You have direct subsidized and direct unsubsidized loans. Direct subsidized loans are only for undergraduate students. Okay, the government pays the interest rate on these loans while you're in school up until the 6 months after you leave school. That's a time frame known as the grace period. Like I said, the government sets the interest rates on these loans. Luckily for you guys, Congress recently lowered the interest rate. It used to be 5.05%, now it's 4.53% as of July 2019. Grad loans and Parent Plus loans were also lowered, but they're still a little bit higher than the undergraduate loans. Between 6 to 7% of you are curious. And also, if a parent wants to take out a student loan on your behalf, while the undergraduate loans don't require a credit check, the Parent Plus loans do require a credit check. I forgot to mention this earlier. If you do need grant money, if you need Pell Grant money, the FAFSA form is what you fill out to receive that grant money. It's based on It's based on household income. Max amount you can receive is $6,100 for the upcoming school year. It's around there. And like I said, it's based on household income. The lower the household income, the lower the EFC, the expected family contribution number, the more grant money you get. I'm not trying to discourage you guys, but if your family makes between $80,000 and $100,000 a year, you can pretty much count out the federal Pell Grant. There's pretty much no way you can get the federal Pell Grant.
If you make a good income and you own a nice home, you don't qualify for Pell, even if you got no money saved for college.
And once you maximize federal loans and grants, this should really be your last resort. Private loans.
I went to a very small Christian college. They are mostly private loans. They're like the worst loans you could possibly take out.
Huge mistake. Private student loans should be avoided at all costs.
So yes, private loans are given out by banks and credit unions, etc. And the interest rates aren't fixed like federal loans. Are actually varied, and they change each year. You know, they can vary drastically depending on the market, inflation, all those other factors. And you know, like I said, this should really be your last resort. A lot of you guys do not have a decent enough credit score to qualify for these loans, so you do need a co-signer for these loans, and you don't get the same benefits as federal loans. You don't get the, you know, the grace period. You don't get, you know, forbearance. You don't get income-based benefits like you do for federal loans. You don't have the same protections when it comes to private loans either. Like I said, you need a co-signer for these loans. So if you were to die, God forbid, the person that co-signed on these loans, they're now 100% responsible for paying off that loan. It's really sad, and it really does happen in a lot of cases. These loans aren't necessarily forgiven once you pass away, God forbid. It is imperative that you borrow as much as you can expect to repay, and sometimes that's hard to gauge right now at 17 or 18 years old. So it's important that you do your research. And if you're not careful, you are going to probably pay, you know, student loans off for the rest of your life, and there's no way to get rid of them. You can't file for bankruptcy. They're not bankruptable. It's either you pay them off or you die. And I don't mean to sound so extreme and so dark, but you know, I just really care about you guys when I say this stuff. The last thing you want is to have a mortgage in an invisible house, because that's what $100,000 in student loan debt feels like. It is suffocating. You know, I just want you guys to succeed. Miss Hollins wants you to succeed. Your senior sponsors, they want you to succeed. The people who are coordinating your graduation, they want you to succeed. The entire faculty and staff at Tri-Cities High School, they want you to succeed. We all want you to succeed and do well. So, you know, before I end this video, I just want to say thank you to Miss Hollins for letting me do this. If you do decide to take a personal finance class in college, you know, just go ahead and do it. Even though it's not required for your major, just take it. You know, Americans lack basic financial literacy skills, so why not? And I'm sorry if I come across as vulgar in this video, because I feel like I have said a lot of stuff. Typically videos like this are outside my domain. I do sports commentary, and if you're interested in that, you can subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell. And if you like this video in particular and you have any other questions for me, I'll leave my contact information in the description box down below. You can DM me, you can email me, all that good stuff. I respond to basically anything. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.